This is KGW News at noon.
This afternoon, family and friends will say their final goodbyes to the Vancouver mother and daughter who were murdered last month. Thank you for joining us. Hello, everyone. I'm Brenda Braxton. The funeral for Michelle Melendez and Layla Stewart starts at 3 o'clock, followed by a private burial service. Their bodies were found last month off a rural road in Washougal after they'd been missing for more than a week. Michelle's ex-boyfriend, Kirkland Warren, appeared in court Monday and pleaded not guilty to the murders. He will remain in jail without bail until his next court appearance next month.
I don't know if I will ever fully recover my voice because I'm still unable to breathe on my own.
We're hearing from those who attended a protest in Northeast Portland last year when a man opened fire. He shot 5 people in Normandale Park, killing one of them. Yesterday, Benjamin Smith was sentenced to life in prison for his crimes. KGW's Alma McCarty brings us reaction from survivors and witnesses who were at his sentencing.
February 19th was a day that was a traumatic and horrible event, is the only way to sum it up.
Because June Knightley did not survive. The 60-year-old was shot at close range and murdered by Benjamin Smith, a man who prosecutors say confronted a group February 2022 at Normandale Park as the women prepared to provide traffic safety for a racial justice protest.
Ben Smith, you saw a group of unarmed, friendly, powerful women and sought to steal their life from them. I remember asking you when I arrived and witnessed you screaming and pointing your finger at June through her window, if you really felt good about intimidating a bunch of women.
How are you supposed to de-escalate someone who doesn't want to be de-escalated? How can you feel like you said or did the right thing ever again, knowing that no matter what you did in that moment, you were not able to stop your friends from dying, sustaining life-changing injuries?
Smith has pleaded guilty to Knightley's murder and to shooting 4 other people. One of those survivors testifying virtually.
I was shot in the neck and paralyzed on February 19th, 2022. I don't know if I will ever fully recover my voice because I'm still unable to breathe on my own.
And another survivor shared some of what she recorded on her helmet camera that night.
Most of what you'll hear on this audio is my voice. It's a short compilation. It's just a few minutes of an unfathomable nightmare that spun out far longer.
Dude, stay with me, okay? I'm right here. Is there an ambulance coming?
After more than an hour, Smith's attorney addressed the courtroom.
Mr. Smith just, there are no words. Just unfathomable remorse that he has for what he did to these folks. So,
Nothing?
we have...
You got nothing?
Not even sorry.
People clearly upset and disappointed despite his lawyer's statements. The perpetrator who impacted so many lives had absolutely nothing to say. The judge sentenced Smith to life in prison with the possibility of parole only after 55 years. Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Friends held a candlelight vigil for 28-year-old April Newcomb Kripe outside the Wimbledon Square and Gardens apartments in Southeast Portland. The mother of 2 was shot and killed near Reed College Saturday night. Police say they found her body around 11:30, but any suspects had already left the scene. We spoke with the people who knew April best, starting with her mom.
She's an awesome mom, and her babies miss her so much.
She spread a light around this world that we were blessed to be able to know.
Yeah.
Anyone with information about the murder is asked to contact Portland Police. Also, friends have set up a GoFundMe to help with funeral expenses. We've posted more information on KGW.com. The Clark County Sheriff's Office is asking the public for help to solve a homicide. Deputies discovered the body of 32-year-old Joanna Speaks near an abandoned barn in Ridgefield on April 8th. Detectives think she was killed somewhere else, then dumped near the barn on South 5th Street. Anyone with information should call the Clark County Sheriff's Office. And Legacy says it's going to reopen its Mount Hood Birth Center in Gresham by July. Legacy shut down the center last month without approval from the Oregon Health Authority, citing a shortage of staff, among other things. In a letter to the community, Legacy apologized for the stress, confusion, and disruption. In the meantime, patients are receiving care at Randall Children's Hospital here in Portland. Let's head back to the Weather Center now. Rod's forecast is feeling very familiar lately, but it doesn't feel like spring.
No, it does not. You know, and not really talking about the rain as much as we are the temperatures, which I'll get to in a moment. But if you've been outdoors, you know it's another chilly day. Right now, we've got snow levels on their way up to about 2,000 feet over the Cascades. They were down to about 500 or 600 feet earlier this morning. That's snow over the Cascades right now. We've had some rain pass through Portland, but currently we're dry. You can see the showers are still lined up. So for the remainder of your afternoon, showers will continue to come and go. And because of that cold air, the potential of some hail. Here's a look at this is a great look at our new camera zoomed in from Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City. The marine forecast, because the chop looks impressive, right? The marine forecast calls for the swells to roll in at about 9 feet high. That's kind of a fun look. We had some lightning earlier this morning offshore from Newport, but haven't seen anything since then. 48 degrees is the number in Lincoln City. Still light snow up at Timberline. Temperatures in the 20s. Government Camp has melted off the snow on Highway 26, so that is okay. And there's downtown Portland with the clouds. 45 degrees right now, trying to get up to 52. We do have what could be a complete turn of events on the back part of the 7-day forecast coming up. What would be opposite from what we're having right now? Think about that. Yeah. That's
warm weather. We know. Can't wait to hear more about that, Rod. Thank you. A Pulitzer Prize-winning writer from Portland returns to the Rose City next week. He really does have a powerful story, and you have a chance to hear it at a benefit for Habitat for Humanity. I caught up with Mitchell S. Jackson over Zoom from his home in Phoenix. He's an English professor now at Arizona State. When he's not teaching, he's writing, and he writes books about his hometown of Portland. His latest is called Survival Math. It's a collection of essays explaining the calculations his family had to make to stay alive in his Northeast Portland neighborhood that was plagued by violence and poverty. Mitchell even spent just over a year in prison for drug dealing when he was 21. He also moved around a lot as a kid and knows what it's like not to have a stable place to stay. That's why he has a soft spot for the work of Habitat for Humanity.
My mother never owned a home, so I never felt that kind of grounding that you get from being in a space for 20 or 30 years. And so I think that them creating that kind of experience for other people is super important. And it's a different thing to own than to rent, right? Like, you can feel when you have ownership of something, you take care of it differently, you imagine yourself in it. And so all of these things I was deprived of as a youngster, which is why I think this organization is so great, because it's giving people an opportunity to be grounded.
Habitat relies on a volunteer labor force, and the building supplies are donated. The local chapter has constructed homes in Portland, Gresham, Beaverton, and Hillsborough. Individuals and families, they put in the sweat equity, and then they buy their home with an affordable mortgage. Habitat for Humanity Portland region has built and repaired almost 2,000 homes in the last 40 years or so. But they cannot continue that good work without your help. So join us next Wednesday, April 26th for Habitat's Hope Builder Lunch. I'll be your MC. It's at the Oregon Convention Center from noon to 1, and it's free. You can register online right now at habitatportlandregion.org/hopebuilder.